Hey, hey, let's go.
Hey, yo, let's go.
Hey, hey, let's
Hey, yo,
let's go.
we are
Hey,
officially live,
yo.
with the Almost Daily Show, episode 25.
5. Can you believe it?
Geez, I know we've been doing this for 12 days or something.
25 episodes now.
Yeah. It's like literally almost daily.
Almost.
And I
It's
feel like
we're at 25, but we do so many other ones that it seems like we do a lot. We actually do one almost every day for our multiple channels. This is 25 on this channel, which is our favorite.
this is our favorite show. And it really comes down to the fact that we're the content birds of our generation.
Yes.
And when you're the content bird of your generation, you put stuff out every day, all the time. Like we'll do this, and then I'll run Instagram Live, and there's just so many things happening. We're like sparrows. You got to let us fly.
I love it. Well, I mean, it just shows you, no matter how busy you are, things that are important, and this show is very important to us. You just got to do it every day or whatever you plan on. If it's daily, weekly, monthly, it's got to happen no matter what. Make sure you're having fun doing it.
That's right. And you got to. It's not that you don't have enough time. It's that you just got to prioritize what you have time for. And then once you figure out what your priorities are, you can make stuff like this happen.
That's right. That's right. So what are we going to talk about today on the show?
Well, today we wanted to talk about our upcoming trip to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas. Last time we were in Vegas, we hosted a meetup at the Rum Bar, and there was people everywhere. They kept buying pictures of mojitos. It was incredible. We talked on stage before that and a couple of speeches and stuff. But the most fun part was probably when we hung out at Rum Bar and invited everybody in the city.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago. Pretty much, I don't think I can ever drink a mojito again.
Yeah, at one point we had just 2 pitchers. Everybody kept buying pitchers of mojitos.
That place was pretty cool. I'm thinking we should go back there. As we're in Vegas next weekend. What's the dates that we're going to be there?
We're going to be there the 16th through the 19th. Is that right?
Okay.
Close enough.
We have a pretty cool speaking engagement. So we're getting brought out by one of the lead nurture systems that we use, Infusionsoft, which is, in our opinion, the best one. And Jim, let's hear what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we're going down there to talk with the elite partners of Infusionsoft for one of their business development gatherings. And the speech and the topic that we're going through is how to build a relationship with customers over time and focus on the long-term game, which comes down to our fundamental laws of marketing that we've created and laws of relationship-based marketing. So we're going to be going over that, probably do a big Q&A. Every time we do a talk like this, it's usually about an hour and a half of talking, 55 minutes of talking and then 35 minutes of questions. So it's always a good time.
And so what we were talking about is, this will obviously be a great time. We found this cool niche where we do this relationship marketing model, and we build this whole program around our clients and their personalities and their employees' personalities. And it's been so successful that we're actually starting to work with a lot of marketing agencies with this concept, and they're partnering with us. And so we're actually very excited to head down, work with the elite partners of Infusionsoft, hang out, educate them a little bit. And while we're in Vegas, we actually wanted to put out and maybe see if there's any businesses in Vegas or a group of businesses that we could all get together and brainstorm and present and show them kind of what we do and help. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. The coolest thing for me is finding local businesses there who follow what we're doing, because we always get a couple and we go in and we have we get all their employees and their team, and they invite other businesses, and we do little chats. So we'll talk about a certain topic that we think would be beneficial towards them. They ask questions. We have these really neat little, almost like a fireside chat with these guys, and we go through a lot of information. It's not really a sales process for us. It's just a process of trying to help businesses, because our goal is to help as many small and medium and even large size businesses as we can as we grow this whole thing.
Sure.
And we'll develop things like when our little marketing school comes out, that'll be a really big value add for small businesses, especially.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're obviously big believers in building the relationship and having your whole system revolve around this core concept. And so for us coming out to Vegas, we're coming out to build relationships and meet people, and we're not charging anything. And right, if you're a business in Vegas or a group of businesses, and you could even be BNI groups or whatever it is, if you reach out to us and let us know, we'd love to hook up with you guys in town and present, teach, by-your-side chat. Right, it'd be really cool. We enjoy that stuff.
Exactly. The other thing we do really well outside of all that is we host really good after parties.
We do.
So the last after party we hosted in Collingwood, we were getting ready to go. We show up at 7 p.m. because we wanted to do something till like 11 or 12 to invite all the people we were speaking for to come and hang out. And we didn't leave till 4 a.m.
Yes, we did not. It was, I think that was pretty epic. I know the bar, it was pretty cool. The bar that had us there. So, hey, anyone in Vegas, if you're a bar and you want to have a great night and invite local business owners to come hang out and chat with us and stuff, it'd probably be a good idea to reach out to us. This bar had its best financial night that they've ever had in business. So at the end of the night, when we cashed out, they were pretty much thanking us, and we're invited back. We'll be doing the same thing next year at the same bar. We're pretty excited. I think we made some good friends there.
It's true. And you know what the coolest thing about that stuff is? Like doing the speaking and the talking is one of the cool, my favorite things to do. But above that and beyond that is the fact that I get to like meet with people and interact with them in more of a personal environment, an environment where it's not like this like one-to-one thing. It's an environment where they're comfortable and they're asking questions and we're talking and we're having fun. And like we play that relationship marketing game just like we speak, just like we talk about. It's how can I get people to really trust me? How can I build friendships? And then when they're ready, they'll come talk to us about what they need.
Yeah, I think something powerful about what we do is, we're lifetime entrepreneurs, right? We got our hands in lots of things, and we just like engaging with business owners, talking about business. Like we have a really good specialty, and we can help. We just help and talk. And yeah, we have some products behind them that help support them and do what we do, but we give out all the information, right? And the big thing for us is, I know for me personally, I like talking to other business owners and working through, helping with their problems, talking about our problems, and just learning from everybody and collaborating and creating these relationships where, if I want to make a business decision, I get on the phone and I call people that are all over the world and all different types of businesses and ask them, right, how are you handling this problem? Okay, so that we're able to then bring that expertise and collaboration to other people. Right? I think that's the key to business.
Oh, that's huge. A lot of businesses get in this mindset where they can't listen to other people, or they can't get advice from other businesses, or they get in this little rut and they're a little straight and narrow pathway. And the best way to grow is to learn and understand what other people are doing. And when other people are doing something really well, you take what they're doing, you figure out why they're doing it and how they're doing it, and then you adapt it, modify it, and adjust it. And now you have a best practice that you've established. And when you work with companies like us, like we do a lot of marketing stuff, but we also do a lot of like customer-centric business consulting with these guys. And you figure out best practices, and then you take those best practices home. And now you have better information, better data, and you're just overall better at what you do because you actually listen to what people are doing. You're not, when you feel like you know everything, you know nothing.
Damn it, I know nothing.
Dang it.
I've been operating, I'm a big fan of mastery and learning. And part of what I do with mastery when I really dive into something is if there's anyone that, and this is a concept, I don't know many people that actually will even do this. If there's a business that you don't like, or is run poorly, or you don't, whatever, you don't like the person, or whatever it is, but they're successful, you want to study that business too, not just the successful people and the people that agree with you and all that type of stuff. It's if you know someone that is making a bunch of money, is very successful in business, and it's just poor business practices and poor organization and right, like poor like people skill, whatever it is, right? Get in there. I used to pay people a ton of money to go in and take the service and try to figure out like, what is this person who is awful? What is the nugget that they do that actually creates all this wealth for them? And it's amazing what you learn, right? And small habits and things that people do are so powerful, and a lot of the times they're overlooked in business.
Yeah, that's huge. And you find it in the relationship game. It's these small little microcosms of things they usually unconsciously do. And you have to go in there and break down the business, break everything apart, and really analyze to see where that's coming from. And outwardly, it looks like a disaster, but on the inside, they have this thing developed, and people love it, and they follow it, and they have this cult-like following built around it. And then you figure out how to replicate that, or what it is, and then you say, okay, what if I put this into this style of business? And you see what happens, then you adjust and modify, and now you have a new little nugget that you can include in a well-organized business.
That's right. That's right. I've been doing that it's been 20 something years now. I love studying those types of people.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I think then you build real best practices out of stuff where you get to really put some, the easy stuff or the, everyone's working on, like the big bucket stuff, and I think that it's once you get past that and you're well organized, it's the better fine tuning you do of the details and the little bucket stuff and the relationship stuff, like you said. I think that's the gold, that's the win. And that's why what we do is so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another good point around this. There's this idea behind like theory and then the practical aspect of things. We often hear like the talking heads talk about the theory. And so everybody thinks the theory is fact. And when the theory doesn't work, they come back and say, well, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. But what you need to understand is you have to know theory, you have to understand theory, and you have to study theory, but then you have to go in and you have to make it practical. You have to actually do it, see what happens, adjust, modify, and make that theory actually practical.
Right. What we find in the athletic training world was this happened for a long time is there was this huge divide between academic in the training world and actual application of coaching and real training. Mm-hmm. Right. And so and this is where you get into, like, I've seen this is like just awful technicians and coaches and like organization and manners and knowledge, and like they just don't know what's going on, except they got a nugget that's worth like ridiculous gold that's working in one little thing, right? But then you try to tell that person that they're all wrong and academically, this is why you're wrong. And then you jump onto the academic side, and there's no practical application going on. The whole thing's theory. And, you want to be on the side of actual application and practical application. It's like what actually works on the ground, not what should work on paper, what actually works. And, we love digging into that. That's like our specialty.
Yeah, that's huge. I often tell people, like, okay, you went to business school, and now you're in the real world. So now what you learned in business school was relevant 5 years ago. So now we have to catch you up on the practical aspects of what's happening right now, especially in the marketing world. Oh, you have a marketing degree. Okay. You got 2 years working with us now to learn what we're actually doing. And that's the idea.
I was in business school, and I actually left early for a business that I had started, and we were very successful. And I was getting all the time. Nobody could believe it, because I was so young and we had such a successful company and all these employees, and I'd get it all the time. So you stopped short of the business degree. Yes. Well, how do you have this successful business? And I said, it was really simple. I was really good at my craft, the organization, the vision, delivering the service, all these things that I'm really good at. And what I found was that you actually don't need a lot of the information because other people went to school for it. So I don't need to I know all this stuff now very well and in depth from being in business for over 20 years. Now I'm a super expert at all that stuff. But back in the day, to get going and really do well, you hire an accountant, you hire a lawyer, you hire a business consultant, right? Like, it's very simple. You put the right people in place, and then you can do what you do extremely well, which is your service, your product, your everything. Marketing, like back in the day, we never put any money to marketing. We did it all ourselves. Now I know a lot about marketing. I should have been putting a ton of money into it, and we would have made more money and not had to do as much work.
Exactly. there's some good points there. When you think about it, you learn how to do things, but when you get out, you learn how to leverage your strengths. So I know what I'm good at. I know I need to be the visionary. I know I need to propel the business forward and grow the business with like business development. And I'm going to hire someone who's going to manage the finances, or I'm going to bring on a technical officer. I'm going to bring on a marketing person if I need it, or I'm going to bring consultants in if I can't afford employees. And once you learn the fact that you can't do everything and you learn to leverage your strengths and leverage other people's strengths, that's when you're able to take the next step and you don't get buried and stuck in what they call like the weeds, where you don't see anything because you're so buried in what you're doing inside the business.
Yeah. And that happens to so many business owners and entrepreneurs, and you get caught in the thing where, we get it. Like I personally get it because we've had so many startups and businesses and all that. Like, you're not making enough money to be able to afford to pay all these people that you're supposed to be paying if you're in business. And so it's always in 6 months when I have enough money and more money. But the problem is you never have enough as an entrepreneur or a business owner here. You're always on that line unless you make it and your company gets really big. So the key is work with the right people, right? So you want to build your network. You can't stay in a cocoon and ignore it. So you talk to lots of people, you get all the advice, you read as much as you can, you do all that type of stuff. But ultimately, like this stuff that we do is we really help people have a game plan on how to scale up, right? So you don't really have much money now. Perfect. Let's come up with a grand vision that you can build into as things start to fall in line with whatever it is, business mentors, marketing, accountants, lawyers, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's huge. And you have to look at it from, it's not the starting point. You have to say, okay, where do you want to be and where do we want to grow this to? And you take that and then you reverse engineer what you need to do to make that happen. So this is our timeline reverse engineered from your actual strategic goal you want to attain. And we're going to organize, this is who needs to be hired at this point. This is where we need to bring on this point. This is the capital we need to grow to this point. And you see a lot of businesses that are undercapitalized or businesses that do have a lot of capital, but then they buy like super expensive like office furniture and random stuff they don't need.
Well, they hire the wrong companies. Yeah. Right? They have the funding and they say, okay, it's $10,000 and we're going to get leads. And then they do that for a few months and they don't get what they needed. So they blew the budget. And then now they're broke and they're doing this whole other, Mickey Mouse thing. Yeah. And so it's just actually having a plan. So if you have the money, you need a plan so you don't blow the money. You can actually make it work well for you. And if you don't have any money, that's okay. Most businesses don't have the money.
Yeah.
So you now need a really good plan for how to start small and when and how to grow it. And if you need loans, when and how that should happen. Like it's just all part of the planning. And I don't know, like I'm really good at all that stuff. And Chandler, you're really good at all that type of stuff. And both of us have always hired marketing consultants and back in the day and business consultants, people to help on the journey. And I think that's what makes successful people successful is because they actually recognize that and they actually bring on help in the team to become successful.
Exactly. And you're never too good to hire people who are better at what you do. And sometimes like you do your specific thing and you have it down and you need to hire out and you have to swallow your pride and say like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
This person's going to do it better than me, which is fine because now your business is going to grow and be more successful because you were capable of swallowing your pride and bringing on the people you needed to do the things you couldn't do.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
We have a really good team and a good sized company, but we have our own web developer and our website's on a different platform because he's a great web developer too with a monster company that we can actually utilize great, right? Like we like video people, we have our own, but then we also work with all sorts of other companies, so it's like, just because we're great at stuff, you can't do it all the time. And you need to always have a better and bigger team and experts and people you can rely on.
Yeah. And you know what you do when you do all of this and you build all these people up and you talk and you get all these people working with you or for you is you build those relationships that benefit you down the road because you work with several different companies to make things happen. You're okay collaborating. You're not afraid. Some people are so afraid that like their business is going to get taken away by similar companies, but it's not going to happen because you're going to build a relationship with these people and then they're going to refer to you when they get people who need your service. You're going to refer to them. And now you've created this little like business development circuit that you have where you do things, you refer out, they refer out, and you have a really cool collaboration effort you've established.
Yeah. Business 101.
Right. Not what you know, it's who you know.
So true. It's so true. But, I'm a huge believer, and I help people do it, is the fastest way to grow your brand, your business, right? Who you know, right? Go hook up with other communities, other businesses, right? And actually provide value. Here's a big thing. Write this down. You go out and you go find the people that have awesome stuff going on, or people that need help or need to grow their business. Go provide value to them through your business. Don't ask for anything in return. Help them. Help them have an awesome business. And they're gonna,
and that's huge. That's how you build that relationship. Everybody's so like, you see a no solicitor sign on the door, and everybody's so used to being sold that when they're not sold, they take a step back and they're like, wait, you literally just walked in here to ask how you could help me and how our businesses could potentially work together. But the first thing you want to do is send some business my way. They're pumped to work with you.
Yeah, it's a simple concept, except it's very hard to. Lots of people have a very hard time doing it.
Yeah, I think it's getting out of like the 1980s always be closing mindset and getting into the people who want to be sold 24/7 anymore mindset. And like, if I want to build a relationship and be around long term with these people, I need to turn them into actual friends. They need to trust me. They need to like me. They need to be able to, if your two businesses working together, you need to be able to call each other and text each other and do all these things to collaborate effectively.
Yep. All right. So listen, we're doing a great job rabbit hole in this. Yeah. This almost daily show. We could talk forever about this stuff. So let's end it there.
Yeah.
Let's get back real quick to we're coming to Vegas, and we'd love to come hang out with anyone in Vegas that wants to talk shop and wants us to come in and speak at their companies or anything. Just reach out.
Right. We'll be there. All right. See ya.
Yeah.